again, this is Champi and welcome to Champi Travels. In this video, I will show you how to pack for a 10-day road trip to the beach, including some sustainable items that I find are essential for any traveling. So come on and let's get packing. Packing is one of my favorite things to do before traveling. I usually do my bags days or weeks in advance because I find it really exciting. And I hope that these tips and these items will be really useful for you when going to a beach destination. In my personal experience, making your bags in advance are a really good thing to do because even a few days before going to the trip, you can get to understand if there's something that you are missing. It gets really exciting. You have this anticipation that you're going somewhere. And for me, it's a really cool thing before starting your trip. As I will be traveling to a beach destination very soon, the next couple of weeks, I am already in the packing mode. So I will show you my top tips on how to pack for a beach destination now. Let's start with my backpack. So here are my essentials for your backpack. I really like taking this small bag where I can get things inside. For example, my chargers, a small speaker. I also like having my headphones here handy. Of course, now a mask. I like to carry at least 2 of these, especially now during these times. And something that is very important is having your IDs. Now we are traveling to the beach in Mexico, so inside the country, so I'm only taking my national ID, my driving license here behind, and I like taking some emergency money just in case you need anything, and my card. In case you're traveling somewhere else or somewhere outside your country, it's good to have your passport with you. And all of this, I fit it in here, keeps things dry, so especially for these items that require electricity or that will get, something can happen to them with water, it's a good place to store them. Some essential items that I think are very important are reusable bags. This can help for so many things. For example, grocery shopping, for anything that you want to store, maybe even carrying things towards the beach or towards a hiking place, or using them for like a bin can be really helpful. And something that I really like is that they are foldable, they do not take much space in your bag, and I usually like carrying at least 2 of them in my backpack. They are always a huge lifesaver and I really recommend them. I also like having this dry bag, especially for all of these items here that I will tell you about because they can be sometimes wet. A lip balm, a hand sanitizer, hand cream. If you use contact lenses, this is really helpful to have handy, which is a solution and a case, as well as some re-wetting drops for your eyes. An everyday sunscreen for your face, especially for beach trips, is a really good thing to have, so you can start applying everywhere and anytime. I like having with me a small mosquito repellent, especially for those destinations that have a lot of these insects. Carry some things to hold your hair, especially if you have it long, which are this and as well as this one here. Both are very useful. I like to keep this inside of this dry bag because they are wet things, especially this kind of stuff. So in case they open up or something happens to them, it doesn't happen like something bad to your other things in your backpack. So this little bag has some reusable items like straws. I like these ones that are bamboo made, but there's a ton of different ones that you can use. And sometimes even carrying utensils like a spoon, a fork, or a knife is really good. And carrying them in this little bag is really helpful because then you can really not lose them. And they are very lightweight. This is a very important and essential item for any road trip, and I would recommend for anybody. It's to have a good size reusable water bottle because you can fill this in any water station. Let it be your hotel, a restaurant, a gas station, or even having a gallon of water in your car. They can refill your water bottle. And not only does it help you saving money instead of buying disposable water bottles, but also it's good for the environment because you're not just exactly that, disposing things that are like a single-use time. That is why I keep those dry bags inside my backpack too, in case sometimes it can happen that this spills over your bag or some of the wet things. So having those dry bags that protect your items that are vulnerable to wet stuff or water, it's very good. I like carrying my agenda to check on things that maybe I've seen throughout the trip that I think is important to do, or maybe something that I need to make that day. Or I really like recording just little things around, being able to record memories, so that's why I think it's a very essential thing to capture, as well as, of course, a pen or something to write. A pair of sunglasses that I think are so cool to have because then you can use them anywhere, even when you start your road trip, or whenever you're going to the sun, it's really good also to cover your eyes. Another item that I think is very important, and it really helps you so much, is having these power banks. So these extra portable batteries can help you to charge anything that you may need. Let it be, for example, in this case, the speaker, your cell phone, maybe a camera. It's always good to have them, and these ones actually, they charge a huge amount of battery towards your electronics, especially in situations like a road trip or places that you don't have a lot of places to charge. I really think you should have one of these. I like carrying the GoPro with me, a small drone for aerial footage, the camera that we are recording right now, which is a Sony, and a pair of lenses so that we can have different points of view during the trip. And this is essential that you carry in your backpacks or in or the luggage that you will be taking with you in your carry-on, because you should never put them in under the suitcases that go in the plane or wherever you're going. And an extra tip before we go to the suitcase is to have in your backpack a pair of socks and also a set of panties. Why is that? Because you never know if you would need anything, or maybe your feet get wet or something happens. You always have these extra things for you to be covered. These will be my essential items for the backpack. So now let's continue with the suitcase. So this is the suitcase for the 10-day road trip that I will be spending in the beach. In this case, we're going to Baja California Sur in Mexico. And first of all, I will show you the toiletries that I will be taking for this road trip. I like separating things from dry and wet. I've seen that it really helps out with me, so I would totally recommend it. I'm not a person that uses a lot of makeup, so I usually just take these three things. That is blush for your face, and this for your eyelashes. It's my basic things for makeup, and especially for the beach. It's not a place that you need that much makeup, honestly. Reef safe sunscreen, really important when going to the beach or when going anywhere really. This helps to take care of the environment you're going to, especially if you're swimming near a reef or near a marine environment. It's always good to use this kind of sunscreen. Always be mindful and try to take reef safe sunscreens with you to your trips. Another item that I like taking, a paste-like deodorant instead of a regular one, as well as dry toothpaste that doesn't spill and has natural and organic ingredients, with a bamboo toothbrush. And they're good for the environment as well, all of this is, so that's something that's really cool. A razor for your leg or any other body parts that you might need while traveling. This is made from recyclable plastics. I like taking a small brush for my hair. I find it quite useful to take as less liquids as possible. So bringing a bar of soap for the body and one for the face. A good shampoo that is made from natural resources. And all of this is not liquid, so it's really good for carrying in your travels because they will not spill, and they are also good for the environment. So it's a really good option to have in any of your travels. So here you will see that this actually is a dry bag. So if anything spills down here, it should be covered and do not wet everything in your bag. So this is what I have, and this one is not that much. I like carrying like a bigger mosquito repellent. You also saw that I have one in my backpack, but having a bigger one in your suitcase is ideal. Every day also sunscreen for your face. It's also environmentally friendly. Then I have the bigger natural sunscreen for your body, so it's good to have a couple of ones laying around. It's also reef safe. I usually pack this for every trip that I go to. It's a tea tree oil, and it's good for so many things. In case you have a scratch or maybe a minor injury, or you are having some throat issues, it's always good to have this because it's an antiseptic that is very good for any kind of things that are happening to you. So I like to carry this around. I like having a small perfume. This is like a roll-on perfume. It's also environmentally friendly from a nice brand. This is only 10 milliliters, so you can actually take this on your backpack if you'd like to. So it's also a good thing about having small quantity liquid elements. I like moisturizing my face. This is a little oil for your face that you can use, and you don't require to bring the whole thing over. So these little containers are awesome for small trips. And in case you use contact lenses, it's always good to carry 2 extra ones in case something happens to yours. And if you use glasses to see, then it's also a good thing to carry around. I use them as well, but I normally, for really hot destinations, I don't like it because it gets really sweaty in here, so I cannot really use them. So for this time I'm not taking them, but you can take them with you too. So now I will show you the clothing part. One set of pajamas, small short, good for the beach, and a t-shirt for it. For maximum pairs of shorts for the beach. 4 shirts or t-shirts that combine with the shorts are usually enough. A couple of dresses and skirts, in my opinion, is what is more comfortable, especially if you are relaxing. I like having these things and just put them over whenever I'm wearing a bikini, and it protects you a bit from the sun, so it's also a good idea to have. And these are sarongs or beach wraps, maybe you call them, that you can just wrap around yourself and use when wearing a bikini, and you can just wear them as another skirt. You know, you can just have them laying like this. They're really beautiful. They're very nice, but they're also very versatile. You can also use them like this, or they can protect you a bit from the sun if you'd like. So I usually take a couple of these with me. Sometimes the beach can get a lot, like very windy. For that, it's good to have something that you can put just on your hair. So you can just use this and it's really, really good. I really like to enjoy the beach and just be almost, well, not without clothes, but just having the bikini. I enjoy having the possibility to make mix and match with any bikinis that I have. So these are all of the bikinis that I own. And I like taking them all because then I can do combinations. So for example, I have maybe this bottom and I know that I can combine it with this one, but I can also combine it with this one as well, or other ones around, maybe with this one. So you have combinations that you can make. It might be a lot and quite overwhelming to bring so many, but the good thing is if you have the possibility to combine them, then you have lots of bikinis. I have here all of my underwear, my socks, and once they are dirty, I put them in this other side. You can use any kind of bags. It's always good to have bags around because it also helps as a dirty bag laundry. And now let's go to the other side of the bag. We like doing small hikes or day trips or going around in the beach destination that we're going or wherever. So I think it's really important for you to have a small hat.
Like a fisherwoman.
Yeah, so you can have a small hat, and it's really good to have sturdy shoes for you to walk around. So it's something that I'm not putting inside the bag because I will actually be wearing them on the plane with me, but having a good pair of walking shoes, it's really ideal when making road trips because you don't know which kind of track you're gonna be walking around or coming across. So it's good to have that. And even if it's a destination, there's always hikes to do, so always get some. Mostly because of dating a Brazilian guy, I have gotten used to, and it's this thing that is called in Brazil a canga, or you can also call it a beach mat. It's big enough for 2 people. You can put it in the sand. It's really nice because it's bigger than a towel. It's so easy to clean. You just do like this with the sand and it just goes away. So it's a very good addition to your travelings. The next thing that I think it's very useful in your travelings is to have a dry towel, and these ones are really nice because they fold up very into a very small, and you can have them dry very quickly, so it's ideal for your trips, for getting into the ocean and then going out, and it just dries very easily on the sun. Instead of a normal regular towel that takes a lot of space, takes a lot of time to dry, so these ones are really highly recommended. I will definitely be bringing with me these flip-flops. I believe that with one set is usually enough. I've experienced that whenever I take more than one, I end up using just one. And these are water shoes. They can be very handy, especially if you have done your research and you know that maybe some of the beaches have sharp objects or sharp rocks or something, and you can walk around, you can do your thing, and you will not get scratched or get hurt. They also have like a very good grip, so whenever you're stepping on a stone or stepping somewhere, you will not slip. So we will be taking this because we will be doing some kayaking. There's one little thing that if you are a bit like me and sometimes you just like to be walking barefoot and going around, there are these little things that will look like a shoe but are not really a shoe. So you can just put them into your feet. They will look like a little shoe. So I like taking this around in the beach because they make you look like you're a bit more dressed up. You can then see this, how it looks when I go into my Baja California trip. for you to check how it looks, but it's really, really nice. So be sure to check those videos after we've done the trip. Another item that is really, really essential for your trips, especially when involving water around, is to carry these floating devices. You don't know how easily it is to lose a camera, lose a phone, lose something in the water when you don't have these ones. You will just drop it and it's gone. You will never find it again. But if you put this, for example, this one is for the GoPro, if you slide this on the GoPro and just attach it to it, in case your GoPro, your camera, whatever you're attaching these devices on, and you drop it, they will stay afloat. So you will know where they are, and it's really, really, really life-saving. As well as I recommend something I do not have at the moment, but it's a waterproof phone case. If you're going around, and it's something that I'm gonna get eventually, to put your phone in a waterproof case in case it gets wet, especially for salt water, because it can rust your phone, it can do some damage to it because of the salt, so it's a good idea to have. This one is something that we also take on our road trips a lot. It's a little device that you just put in your car, and you can hold up your phone. It's always good to have your phone handy, to have it there, to be able to see it instead of maybe having the passenger, sometimes me, that I'm really bad at telling directions. You can have your phone here and it's really useful. Maybe your car already has something included, maybe not, but it doesn't weigh anything, so it's good to just pack it. Sometimes in the beach destinations, there is a lot of flies and are very annoying. So we have found very useful fly catchers that you just put anywhere and they will normally come and not really disturb you that much. We haven't really used exactly this one, so we'll be using them in our Baja California trip. You can see how that goes. Hopefully it's a really good addition to our road trip essentials. But it's always good to carry these kind of things, or maybe for mosquitoes or something for insects if it really disturbs you a lot. We had a really bad experience in other trips, for example in New Zealand, when there was so many flies that were just biting us everywhere, so this would have been very handy in there. Especially now that we're doing the road tripping and we're camping in certain destinations, so having this inside your camping tent, it's a really good thing. I think that is really important to have your own set of snorkel gear, because then you can use them anywhere you go, and especially when it's a road trip, when you're camping, when you go to a place and it's just this beautiful water and there's no one you can rent it to. It's really awesome to have this, because you can just go around, you can just put on your gear and have it anywhere you want, which is really cool, because if you have maybe a reef around or some marine environment, it's really awesome. It's really, really awesome to be able to just see it for yourself, to have this addition. I cannot say how amazing it is to actually have it, because it has happened to us in a lot of places where we don't have it and we wish we did. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's something that you can just get in a lot of sports stores, and it's really, really awesome. So something that I'm not packing here, I'm explaining to you, we're going on a camping trip, is the camping gear, the camping tent, the mattresses, everything that we'll be using there. That's actually going in my boyfriend's suitcase, but he will be taking all of the mattresses, the camping tent that is big enough for 2 people. So the last item that I will show from my suitcase, if you are someone that really enjoys reading like me, I like having my free time, especially in relaxing destinations, to read something, I recommend getting yourself a book and have it in your road trip. At the moment I'm reading this one, I really recommend it. It's a really nice way of seeing history of the world, especially in the East. So take your favorite book and read it there. So those are my must-haves for a trip to the beach. I usually pack only the essential things that I may need. And sometimes if I know that I'm gonna do something specifically, for example a night out or something like that, I might bring a nice dress. But if not, it's always good to improvise with whatever you already have in your backpacks. And my last tip for you is to have fun when packing. It is this time that you're preparing yourself to going to that destination that you've been wanting to go. Maybe put on some music, get into the vibe of the trip that you're going to. It's a really exciting time to already get prepared mentally to the destination you're going. If there is a must item or a routine that you do when packing or getting ready for your trip, show it in the comment below so that me and others can have some inspiration on what you do. And don't forget to hit that subscription button to get those notifications on the channel's adventures. Enjoy your packing and let's go traveling together!